Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
I did it again. Everyone, everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're broadcasting 2 hours from the Missouri Mountains. If you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 605. No. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. And we have a listen line. That's 605-477-3249. 605-477-3249. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Welcome, Rick.
Good morning. You know, when you were laughing, it was wonderful and I could hear you. And then when you started talking, the volume went down like you or something purposefully turned it down. I do not understand this. It is consistent with last week and the week before.
Well, let's see if
Just a little
John,
bit volume. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It's like you laugh and everything is right. And then when you start to talk, the volume goes down. Isn't that interesting?
Well,
I am now realizing that I am under a microscope. I have all kinds of evidence indicated from half a dozen different unrelated connectivities that something is keeping a big eye on me right now, and I have no idea why. It's really, I don't get it.
Well, Rick, yesterday during the broadcast, I was interrupted, and I thought, what in the heck is this? I have a screen that tells me the connectivity between the studio here in Missouri and Genesis, and it showed total disconnect. And I have a call screen, and it was stuck. And so I tried to reconnect, and I couldn't. And my equipment looked like everything was fine, except I wasn't connected to the network. And so I placed a telephone call, and the phone worked, and I did the rest of the broadcast via telephone. And Mrs. Finelli went outside, and we have this cow, full-size cow, out in the front yard. We fenced her in over the weekend because she has a hurt leg, and we're monitoring her and giving her extra vitamins and minerals, and we don't want to have her walk with all the rest of the cows up and down hills and things and go into the pond. So we have a waterer for her, and we have great grass for her. And there's this poly tape fence. It's about 1,000 feet of electrical fence wire that comes on a spool, and think of it like almost like yarn, the diameter of yarn. And all you do is you push these steel fence posts into the ground, and they have an insulator on the top, and you just thread the poly wire that has 6 stainless steel conductors embedded in the wire, and you just string it along and hook it up to a little fence charger, and everything's good. And it's a temporary fence. Well, Mrs. Finelli saw that the fence was literally cut in half at the time that I was disconnected from the broadcast. So we had a lightning strike, and I'm absolutely 100% certain, well, it was an electrical strike, let's call it that. I'm 100% certain that that's what it was, because the poly fence wire
I've lost you. Are you there?
So where it was cut, both ends were black, and the fence post where the poly wire with the okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. You know,
wow, I can see
we lost
that.
signal. Grace is here with me, and we lost signal with you there for about a minute.
Yeah, well, I can see it on the screen now. I just switched now instead of looking at a screen that has view meters for modulation. Now I have to switch to a screen that just shows whether I'm connected or not and the delay. And I'm looking at literally a 2003 millisecond delay. That means a 2-second delay. That's extreme. I don't think that's a new record for a delay. Normally we have maybe a quarter of a second delay between us here at the farm and Genesis.
And upload. My upload is less than 600 kilobyte right now for data transfer.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? I know we had a CME, and it shouldn't be affecting us. So that's what I meant about being interfered with. There's just too many different continual inputs like this to the point where I'm getting a message that something is interfering. Now I'm getting static.
Well, here's what happened. Okay. Well, let me share the rest of the story that you missed. So this So this poly fence wire would be like a piece of yarn, but maybe a little larger than yarn in diameter. But it has 6 fine stainless steel wires in it to conduct electricity. And they're woven inside this polypropylene rope. The idea is the cows can see the rope. The rope is large enough for them to see it. It's easy enough for us to handle and thread through some insulators, and then just hook it up to an electric fence charger with a ground. Well, some electrical charge hopped onto this thing and then looked for the closest ground, which was probably 200 feet from the studio, 400 feet from our underground telephone service. Well, it took me off the air through the internet, and Mrs. Finelli saw this polypropylene fence rope and wire that was cut, actually burned in half. Literally looked like a torch was taken to it and just cut with a high-temperature torch. It cut. Well, it's stainless steel wire. It literally burned the plastic insulation. It literally burned through the stainless steel wire and broke the fence. And it's not like this fence was old. This was a brand new roll of electric fence tape. It was put in very carefully. It was done right. It wasn't haphazard. And here's the rest of the story. So at the same time that static or lightning or electrical charge burned the fence in half, a couple hundred feet from the studio, simultaneous with that, I was taken off the air. Now, up the road, just half a mile up the road, we have another fence just like this. And that fence is 2 or 3 times the length of fence tape or fence wire. 2 or 3 times the length. That fence, I asked Mrs. Finelli during the commercial break yesterday if she could hop on a 4-wheeler and go out there and make sure that fence was okay, because that was containing about 100 cows, and I didn't want to have to chase 100 cows, home or call them from wherever they took off from or took off to, should that fence have been broken. Well, that fence was fine. Here's what I don't understand. So if it was a lightning bolt that came down, it would have taken out a lot more than just this one fence. It would have taken out the electrical system at the farmhouse, the farm, the neighbors, and all the fences. But it only took out one. It only took out one, Rick. That's what I don't understand. So it was almost like it was a micro burst of electricity. And that is what makes me suspicious.
Yeah, you see, and you never really get enough data to vet what actually happened. And it goes on with this, with that, and then 4 other things. And at some point, your hackles go up in the back of your neck, and you start to realize that something else is going on here, and you can't quite really identify what it is. It's not paranoia, but it's like that this isn't right. There's something wrong here, and you know it, but you can't point to what it is. It's happening to all of us. I don't know what it all means, except that, you know, the United Nations, I had over 6,000 views on this one post I did. 6,000 people read this one post I did on the United Nations saying there's going to be, 12 days of darkness, warning the world. And right now, NASA won't say it, but I have a JPL friend who sent me some proprietary information regarding this asteroid or something that will be hitting the atmosphere on November 13th. The target, because it's coming straight in, is going to probably be in the ocean near Sri Lanka. How big it is, that's the curious part. And the fact that NASA won't make comment is that it seemingly changes density volumetric. That's impossible unless it's something artificial. So now they're going to try to say it's a Russian booster rocket coming in, but the thing is much bigger than that. So stay tuned. I do not know what it's about. I do not know why NASA is not saying anything about it. Gordon Duff asked me to vet it up for veterans today. I may or not do that. I don't know yet. What I do know is I've got solid data. There's no question something's coming in on the 13th. It's I've got it from 7 different types of resource data points on observatories, including Soho. So here we are.
Rick, this kind of reminds me of Skylab.
Yes,
back in the, let's see.
That's how big it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be quite large.
Well, Skylab was about, maybe 170,000 pounds.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And this was a laboratory that was launched back in 1973 and stayed aloft, if you will, till 79, and then it came down. And we knew it was going to come down, and a lot of us were concerned, like, where is it going to come down? Because it was, 170,000 pounds of material. And it was of great concern, and fortunately, I believe it landed in the ocean. We'll be right back. Dr. Richard Allen Miller. I'm very interested in what he's saying about the 13th of November. What is this object, and should we be concerned? How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help. So it has the tools tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
We use mobile devices right against our body every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
At 30dayfoodsupply.com, 2 of our top priorities are providing quality food at a reasonable price and protecting your security. When you call 800-700-2184, we will never record your phone call and never ask for your personal information, like how much food you have stored or where you keep it. We'll also never store your credit card information and email address on a computer. Your email address will never be shared or sold. We'll never limit the number of boxes you can purchase. We'll never use outside packers or use relabeled food from another company. Our meals are naturally high in fiber, carbs, and protein, and everything is packed with oxygen absorbers and Mylar pouches under our direct supervision at our plant in Oregon. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying directly from their producers in Oregon and then passing the savings on to you. Call 800-700-2184 and purchase our 30-day 90-serving emergency food supply for only $99, and $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit our website, 30dayfoodsupply.com, or call 800-700-2184. That's 30dayfoodsupply.com at 800-700-2184.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, docram.com, docram, DOCRAM.com.
Hey, by the way, Vincent, on that, I just posted a thing from Congress acknowledging on docram, Facebook, acknowledging chemtrails and their toxicity to man. And my website, that part right there, is now, as on Thursday, all the way through Sunday, it does the count. At this point, I've got almost 19,000 views on my website since Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
and the concern...
thank you, Joey. Thank you, several other lead scouts that have been getting me to the point where I'm current, up-to-date, and selective on what I'm trying to do. You know, I have filters. I'm looking for certain things like ice ages and that kind of thing coming on. I posted that this morning also. We're about to go into another major ice age, and they just proved we had the last 2 were ice ages, the epochs. We're in the 6th one right now. The oceans are, this is all science stuff. And it's like right there, right now, right happening. And I have no idea about this darkness thing in November, but that was a Congress thing that went back about 3 days ago. If people look at it, that one alone, that one post had over 5,000 views.
Rick, it seems that the geoengineering, the spraying of the skies is becoming more mainstream information.
Well, everybody's getting it because you can see the clouds aren't real. And the weather is changing, and what's causing the relationship between the 2 of them? It's true that Ponderosa dies, but everything is dying in Southern Oregon because of what's in the ground. It is not drought. And right now, we're slate for snow. If we get an early snow and then a warm rain in December again, you can count on flooding, and already they're warning California about flooding this year because of El Nino.
It's
happening right now.
I got a call yesterday.
That's right up front row seat.
Okay. I got a call yesterday, Rick, from the family who bought our farm in Virginia. And Steve and I were talking. He's an engineer. And he was asking me about where I buried the drain pipe from one of our barns in Virginia, because he wanted to know where it led to. And I told him that it came from the gutter down to the leader into the ground, and it went out into the woods. The idea was I was sending the water to its natural path downhill. And he told me that he had flooding in this barn that I built. And I thought, wow. When I built that barn, I built it so that there would be no flooding. It'd be almost impossible for anything in this barn to get wet. Literally, I'm not kidding. But they had so much rain in Virginia that it did flood. Now, he didn't change the slope of the ground, to encourage flooding into this barn. But I literally made it so no matter what kind of rain we had, it would not rain into this barn. It wouldn't, the water would be, sent downhill, if you will. But there was so much rain through, I believe, this geoengineering that it actually did flood the barn.
Yeah, 1,000 years of flooding. That's the 1,000-year flood. And you are right now witnessing all of these massive global weather changes.
Mm-hmm.
And now Congress is admitting that geoengineering is toxic. Finally.
Yeah. And so
I'm just putting up right this moment. Thank you, Joey.
Joey is on top of a lot of what's happening, and I get the same emails that you do. And we're talking about Joey from Michigan. And by the way, I get a chance to talk with Joey every few days, and we talk for a long time.
Oh, right, he's a cool guy. Brings his own cut. He doesn't.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I think under a normal marriage, if Joey were not a man, it's possible for a wife to be jealous of the telephone conversations because of the amount of time that Joey and I spend talking. Literally, we talk about everything, and it's all important. Every bit of it is important. And I hope that all of you have a friend like Joey in your lives. I really do. The way Rick and I do.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, There's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX or my website, danpilla.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Does being over 40 make you feel like half the man you used to be? Do you feel more tired, out of shape, not in the mood like you used to be? Thanks to an exclusive formula, you can help boost testosterone levels safely and naturally. Introducing Ageless Male, a life-changing supplement for men tested to help increase testosterone levels.
You'll notice a boost in your energy levels. Workouts work, sex life improves. It's like a light switch goes on.
Try Ageless Male risk-free if you would like to experience what taking Ageless Male can feel like. Support for healthy, normal testosterone levels, healthy energy, and increased performance, and more romance when you want it.
Call 1-800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Rick, back in the mid-'80s, I had an association with a young man who, a couple guys actually, who worked for Kodak, and it was a professional association. I was the customer, and they were part of the sales team. And this was in the mid-'80s. And I thought that one of them needed a wake-up call. And so he was not as careful as he needed to be when he met women. And so those were the early days of desktop publishing. So I got on Ventura, which was a Xerox product, desktop publishing, and I created some stationery that really looked like it was from the Center for Disease Control. And so I sent this guy a letter. Actually, it was it was a FedEx package. And in this letter, it said that he had been in contact with this person and that he had been exposed to herpes vagicom 22, which was something that I made up.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
And, well, there's a reason why I'm telling this story. Now, I've never told this before. So this guy gets this package at work. Okay, it's sent to his office at work. It's Federal Express. And, back then, receiving a Federal Express package, an envelope, a letter it looked pretty serious. And it said that he had been exposed and that we made an appointment for him in Atlanta at the center, and he'd be there for 2 weeks for treatment. And it was, it was curable, but it was pretty serious, and that he had to have this notarized form, which was attached with all the people who he's been in contact with, and had to be notarized and signed by his doctor. And he had to submit this, and he had to appear at the CDC. It was required. It wasn't a suggestion. This letter said that he had to be there, and he saw his he saw his life flash before his eyes, and then it was. And the last page of this stapled together packet said just 2 words: "Never mind." That was the last page. So he read So he read the first page, and he raced out of work. He went home, and he was on this, and he called the CDC because the phone number was there, the address was there, everything was there, and he's on hold with the CDC, and he's flipping through, and he's all worried about the requirement that everyone he had been in contact with be on this list. And then he gets to the last page, never mind, and he slammed down the phone. And he decided that it must be me. So he called me up and he just yelled at me and cursed me out. And it was great. So now the reason I'm telling you this is because there's an article on the internet right now. 2/3 of the people globally, it believes, has herpes. 2/3. 3.7 billion people under the age of 50 have herpes.
Well, there are different
symptoms.
kinds of herpes, of course. The ones inside your mouth. I think everybody has some form of oral herpes. Cold sores.
Uh-huh. I don't, but maybe, and Mrs. Finelli doesn't, but
not me.
Well, here's so Rick, we are. I think we are succumbing to all kinds of maladies, diseases, and
our diets. The GMO alone is now a program. They're getting ready. The Congress is getting ready to nationally ban GMO labeling right now. And that is your tax dollars being manipulated and used by transnational corporations. And the GMOs that I'm studying right now stop the intake of natural sources of vitamins in your body to the point where you are required to take supplements. This is your pharmaceutical houses doing their marketing on a whole nother level of control.
Mm-hmm. Rick, our politicians
they're buying
have been
into it. That's what Carter said. Washington is for sale.
Right, and our politicians have been instrumental in trying to ban vitamins and supplements. And if you go to a traditional doctor, I haven't seen mine in years for checkups, but I'd ask him. I'd say, well, should I be taking some supplements? No, you're doing fine. Vitamins, minerals? No, you get everything you need in the food you eat. Really? Okay. So I'm talking about a medical doctor who is pretty good, but he still doesn't believe that we need to add supplements to our diet. And the last time I saw him was years ago, and he told me that I put on some weight, Rick. He told me I put on some weight. Rick, you've seen me, right?
Yeah, there's no place to put weight on you. You're dead. You're small. You're thin. How could you put on weight? Where? What is he talking about?
That's what I wanted to know. So I said to him, have you been out in the waiting room? Have you seen everybody in the waiting room? Rick, I think we're getting more unhealthy. Actually, I know it.
Doctors are the ones that are getting more unhealthy. How about that waiting room where you have an appointment at 10 minutes to 4, and so you arrive at 4:45, but you don't get to see your doctor until 7 minutes after?
Right.
How does that work? Oh, he's busy? He's got jammed up? No. What it is that instead of seeing one person per hour, he's seeing 5.
Mm-hmm.
That means he makes 5 times the money because an hour visit, you're given 12 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that they don't have pictures
That's a medical thing. They actually teach in medical school how to do that kind of round robin.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised
That's how you know whether to get rid of your doctor or not if he's playing that game with you. Dentists are more precision. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. When you go in for your appointment on dental, it's usually right within a minute or so of your appointment moment. They run a tight ship. Medical, it's completely the opposite. And how is it that a doctor can make more money than a physicist?
Yeah.
How about the lawyers? I'm going to lose a case because there was a clerical error, and I didn't catch it because I didn't have enough knowledge to know that it was incorrect. And now I'm going to lose, not because it was a clerical error, but because I didn't catch it as a lawyer.
You're talking about
being sued, but when I was power of attorney for someone else, working for them. How come a lawyer doesn't have that same thing? How come the lawyer could have easily fixed it right then, right there, rather than allowing it to have to go through the step of called a motion? And right now I'm about to lose that motion because I signed my name.
Well, it's just like going into a courtroom. All rise, and if you rise, then you are agreeing to the venue, the terms, the conditions, and the rules. So what's happening with our guys, like Mike Parsons?
And they will eject you from court if you don't, which means you have no choice if you have to be there, unless you can do it under protest. And appeals won't even work. It's the law is no longer, it's blind. Okay, no problem. I'm going to eat this one. It's not right, and there it is. And now I have a mark on my record. Somebody downtown decided to try to start taking me out piece by piece. They do it with traffic tickets. They do it with charges that are not real, and they drop the charges, but somehow they're not dropped, and they stand on your record, and then I get all this spam mail saying, someone just posted something wrong about you. And what? It's just crazy. That's what's going to happen with our elections. We're going to vote for somebody else, and Hillary will still get elected.
Well, that's what Larry Nichols said. She will be our president.
She is a criminal, and her husband is worse than her ever dreaming. I had a friend that not only about the federal judge, I have a friend that talked to me about the private bridge that they built across the river down in Arkansas to bring the drugs in from Mexico. Clinton's bridge. He is the worst criminal in history in terms of this one federal judge out of Arkansas anyway. You know, where Wally and the boys, Walmart, all of that came from, Clinton. And now Hillary has just yesterday, that nice thing from Joey. By the way, J.C. Cole, there's others I should mention. Matt Stein, all send me. Well, Matt's mostly off color, but mostly, there you go, Matt. But mostly, there's some really good people out there that we have an alternative networking for news media that vets out what's really real going on right now. And none of it, everything is disinformation. Everything. And that's your tech seller at work. How's that feel?
Well, we need to never re-elect anyone, Rick. We've been saying that for years.
How are you going to do that? The whole thing is a fait accompli. The Republican Party is a joke, running a reality host creep with possibly a Jesse Ventura as his running partner. And that while Ventura is not a bad person in that sense of it, he has no business being in that level of politics that they're supposed to represent. It all started with the Dulles brothers and the Bushes. And that's what Hillary and Bill Clinton worked for, Bushes. And watch what happens next when she becomes president. What happens to America? She is creepy. And I am here to say anything is better than her. Anything.
Nobody's better. If we had nobody in the White House, would be better than Hillary Clinton. And you know, Rick, if we had a medical doctor in the White House, I think that medical doctor would just say, have you lost your mind with this Obamacare? Have you lost your minds? Have you lost your minds with chemicals?
As a screw loose.
Yeah. Well, they're all defective. In my opinion, they're all defective. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
It's time to kick some ash because cigarettes have met their match. Smokers are switching to Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig because when you kick ash, you kick tar and smelly smoke too. LeSig smokes the competition with real people customer service, a 7-day satisfaction guarantee, and same-day fast free shipping. Become a vapor today at LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes. Kick some ash.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air. And the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit WaveHomeSolutions.com. That's WaveHomeSolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937. Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and Off the Grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Rick, Google has a project. Actually, it's their parent company, Alphabet, and they hope next year to build this string of balloons that will circle the globe. And these balloons will be fitted with 4G communications. There'll be solar panels to power them. And so at 12 miles above the surface of the Earth, these 50-foot wide, 40-foot tall balloons will just travel and provide wireless communications. It's just one more technology to bombard us with microwave frequencies. I think it's outrageous. Now they're going to be flying above the typical altitude that airplanes fly. They'll be about 12 miles up. But do we really need this? Do we really need to have all of this?
I just thought you better hear this. There's a brush fire right now in Bridgeton, Missouri, next to the nuclear power plant. There we go again, just like the one in Nevada yesterday. A brush fire up near your nuclear power plant. And you absolutely should be concerned right now.
I am concerned. Now, that is east of us. It's probably 180 miles east of where we are, maybe a little bit more. So where did you find this brush fire?
You mean the media?
Yes.
This was off Fox News. Listen, and the geoengineering pages on what's going on at Fukushima. Listen, the energy source. It's all over the net right now. This is going to be happening more and more. Geoengineering, one of the primary things they were doing was to keep the radiation from coming down onto farmland. It's now raining, and Geiger counters that we're using out here are showing massive changes. In the show I did last night with Jeff Rentz, we talked about his filters, his air filters, and what his air filters are catching with his Geiger counter. Now, isn't that interesting? 100 times the normal background radiation. He gets in his home about 20 counts. He's running somewhere between 200 and 1,200 count right on his filters right now. And so this absolutely means that today you need to start leaving your shoes at the door. You do not want to track what you're wearing into your home. It is a new rule, and the snow will burn. It's going to be filled with polymer and allowed to burn, and if you don't think it's hot, you check it out. That's what part of what most of the geoengineering was about, is to keep everything from raining. We have a problem here, Houston.
Rick, I remember well over a year ago, we talked about being able to take snow and light it on fire and actually have it burn.
That will happen again this year. Radioactive this time.
I'm looking right now at just south of Hot Springs, Arkansas. We have a RadCon 4 alert. And what you do, if you want to know how many clicks, just go to netc.com and click on the icon of the area where you want to see the actual information, and you'll see how many clicks. I'll tell you, it doesn't look good, Rick. None of this None of this is a good feeling.
Well, it's happening right now. It's not happening yesterday. It's happening right now today, and you can start keeping a diary. Watch how that diary changes over the next 6 weeks.
Rick, is this one of your highest concerns, the geoengineering and the radiation?
Yes. It's even worse than anything anybody's been told. That's why Matt
Let's talk about it.
400 Chernobyls.
Let's talk about it when we come back after top of the hour news and commercial announcements. And then let's talk about the university years, Rick Miller and the university years. And also, Rick, let's talk about Epsom salts. Let's talk about bathing in Epsom salts. That's an old folk remedy. And what does it do, and how does it work, and why does it work? We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air. And the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit WaveHomeSolutions.com. That's WaveHomeSolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Sharon Hunt. Before using Heart and Body Extract, my energy level was very, very low. I could only walk a few feet and then would have to sit down. I was tired and lethargic. But after taking Heart and Body Extract, my energy level has improved greatly, and I can now walk longer distances without getting tired so fast. Thank you, Heart and Body Extract.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com. Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Rick, hour number 1, we ended with, your greatest concerns toward the future. And I believe they were geoengineering and radioactivity from the nuclear reactors littered all over the planet. Would you address that? What are your greatest concerns and why?
Well, we are in a massive extinction event. It's happening right now. There will be blood. And Congress is only now just addressing the issue. They are being paid. So the way they're doing it is slow enough that nobody is going to get it in time. It will be, wait till you see what I just sent you. Just this minute. It's actually, it's 6 megabytes. It is NASA's fears. No, I didn't send you that one yet. It's a PDF called Military Intelligence Professional Bulletin, April-June 2010, and it's PB 34-10-2. We'll take a check on that Military Intelligence Professional Bulletin. Here we go. And it runs it down just like the NASA did. And it's all dated, signed, and will you say security metrics in coin. Tactical tailoring of maneuvering enhancement brigade. Lethal theory, some implications. And mimetic warfare, the future of war. This one's by First Lieutenant Brian Hancock. I'm getting all kinds of interesting documents from all kinds of my old friends I haven't talked to in zillions of years. And when I say that, it's like I have a friend at JPL that sent me some data that NASA is not talking about. Why? We are at the end of days, and it is happening, and everybody should be taking a diary and marking it, because at some point that may or not become your Clovis Bible. Just like it says in the Clovis Bible. Here we are. I posted this morning the 2 major ice ages and that life started on Earth 4.8 billion years ago. Billion. This is a recurring thing with Mars and the asteroid belt, and something is coming in and going to change things. Here we are. And I'm here to tell you, I don't know. Something to think about, huh?
Absolutely. Rick, are you aware of the spraying that went on in St. Louis with radioactive materials? The government literally released aerosol radioactive compounds on the villagers in St. Louis, Missouri. Were you aware of that?
No.
This happened many years ago.
Why?
Okay.
What was the intent? Purpose?
All right. My browser just crashed, so I'm going to bring it back up. Okay. So here it is.
It seems to just not quite allow you to do it, huh?
Yeah. Okay. I just brought it back.
Skynet.
I just brought it back. Okay. It says Army scientists secretly sprayed St. Louis with radioactive particles for years to test chemical warfare technology. Now,
that's
of course, my question.
Last week with the Navy on lithium.
Mm-hmm. My question is, why do we have to test chemical warfare technology?
Because
the plan
should be civil unrest at home. That's why Homeland Security. That's why Agenda 21. That's why you can go right down the list of things that they are putting in place to prevent you having your civil rights.
Okay. Let me read some.
The keepers and the militias are ever present today.
Let me read some of this, Rick. The United States military and this was published September 29th, 2012, and it's on dailymail.co.uk. Yeah, I'll post this link on our website during the next commercial break. United States military conducted top secret experiments on the citizens of St. Louis, Missouri for years, exposing them to radioactive compounds, a researcher has claimed. While it was known that the government sprayed harmless zinc cadmium sulfide particles over the general population.
Cadmium zinc is harmless?
That's what it said. Over the general population in St. Louis, this professor claims that the radioactive additive was also mixed with the compound. And then she has photographs.
What they're doing is turning all of us into laptops. With the heavy metal absorptions that we're doing and the bio APIs, what we will become is a hive consciousness by 2050. Avatar program and the transhuman movement.
Mm-hmm.
Transhumanism movement. This is now NASA, and now they're using the mimics and as a signal of war, and I just sent you that document. Listen, it's all, they're setting it up ahead of people being able to keep on top of it, and it's lead scouts like Joey and J.C. Cole and others like you and Matt that are trying to wake up everybody to the fact that there is a massive war going on, of which all of you listening to me right now will most likely be a casualty shortly.
Rick, this has been going on for a long time, and it says in her
before you woke up. Mm-hmm. You know, your New World Order, your Illuminati, your transnational corporations running the world right now have somehow figured a way to supersede the Declaration of Independence. And now that they're removing cursive, you know, just in the newspapers yesterday, the math scores in Oregon are down. And that's because of the new concept of new math and the way they're teaching mathematics today. The kids don't get it. This one kid, the question was, what is 5 times 3? And he wrote out 5 times 5 times 5 equals. And it was wrong because it was supposed to be written 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Get a grip. This is your new math. What I'm doing is doing an ecumenical movement here in Grants Pass called Common Ground, to be distinguished differently from Common Core. Common Ground is where the kids start learning how to grow food when they're 4 years old. And it's going to be sponsored by an ecumenical group of pastors and ministers. That's what church is about. Reuniting the family and bringing back values that we have lost because we now have 2 generations without families. And the military is encroaching. And it isn't military. It's actually using the military by transnational corporations that buy and have their own militaries, bigger than the U.S.
I wish I could find
that. That's the way it works. United Nations. There it is.
I wish I could find that article about proficiency in math and reading in the United States. It is abysmal. We're talking about high school and elementary school where maybe 90% of the students in high school and in elementary school in some of our cities are not proficient in math.
Well, on my way over here, one of the people there's going to be a mass recall on our county commissioners, and one of the people that is calling for this is running for that position. She handed me this book to read. I finished it, called The Social Order of the Slum by Gerald Suttles. Check it out. This is an old book, like Ecotopia was written by Ernest Callenbach. She's reading that while I'm reading this one. I'm going to be returning it. It is a way of profiling that they have started from way back when. The J2.0 software was not what they were using. That's old software. They had a new system they never even gave a name to when they did the Jade Helm 15 experiments in measuring the accuracy of profiling. And now with the Navy weapon being used in Reedsport, deploying lithium to control a small city in unrest, what do you think is going to happen next? You can't, in some of these things, even filter it. And some of it, like Jeff Rentz would suggest, is radioactive. Here we are, end of days, global extinction, and with intent. And your Congress is for sale. You know, when you had a problem, that's where you went to. You started with your county commissioners and you moved up the ladder in politics to get something changed or questioned. And that part is gone, baby, gone. Now what do? One house at a time. And Yoda, my gun you may have. After I give you my bullets, I will.
Rick, I don't know a single person who is happy with the overall direction of our country.
No,
with I don't know a single.
It's not me, not what I want. How is it that 93% of the vote is disagreed by Congress in the passing of GMO laws? How does that work? 93% of America do not want, they want GMO labeling, and Congress is about to say no. You have been sold out. We have all been sold out. There's no such thing as a free election anymore. That's a long time ago. Gerrymandering aside, the way they set up voting districts and the way the whole thing goes, you watch what happens when Hillary Clinton is elected
By now you know
by
that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves, but this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at $downfall.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
There are hundreds of silver products on the market today, but there's nothing like the astonishing health benefits of the multi-patented One Silver Solution. Boost your immune system at a great price with our Silver Solution Liquid, starting at $12.95 a bottle. Now available in regular and extra strength. That's half the price of the leading competitors. Call 844-USE-SILVER for your free catalog, or go to OneSilverSolution.com. OneSilverSolution.com. There is only one Silver Solution.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period, with packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI Armor.com. Come and take it.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller is with us, DocRam.com, DocRam.com. Rick, I'm looking at a CNS News article, And the article says that Detroit public schools, 93% not proficient in reading, 96% not proficient in math. I'll post this on the website, usaprepares.com. And this is dated October 28th, 2015. So there's this picture of all these political persons. There's a picture with Ted Kennedy and Representative John Boehner. I think he pronounces his name differently. President George W. Bush. And Bush is signing the No Child Left Behind Act in January of 2002. Now, it says that the Detroit public schools have expenditures of $18,000 per student. $18,000 per student. And they're so successful, they have 93% not proficient in reading and 96% not proficient in math. So obviously they need more money, right? That must be the problem. They're not spending enough money. $18,000 per child is not enough to educate a child in Detroit. Yeah. Okay, so let me see if I can go to some of these other statistics and share them with you. 67% of public school 8th graders are not proficient in reading. Now, this is the percentage of national public school 8th graders and 8th graders in large urban school districts who are not proficient. So the national average is 67% not proficient. Albuquerque, New Mexico is about 80%. Atlanta is about 80%. Baltimore City is closer to 85%. I'm just estimating based on a bar graph. Boston's doing much better. So looks like about a little over 70% are not proficient. Cleveland, it looks like almost 90% not proficient. Detroit, you know that it's 97, 96% not proficient. And the cities that there's not one city above 60%. I'm sorry. All the cities are worse than 60% not proficient, and here they are. Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore City, Boston, Charlotte, Chicago, Cleveland, Dallas, Detroit, the District of Criminals, Duval County, Florida, Fresno, Hillsborough County, Florida, Houston, Texas, Jefferson County, Kentucky, Los Angeles, Miami-Dade, New York City, Philadelphia, and San Diego. Not proficient.
Means our school systems are failing. It means that homeschooling is probably our future.
Yeah.
It means that the government is now trying to dumb down America through our children, and why a group of ministers out here are now interested in common ground. What they have in common with each other, not what they disagree on, what they have in common. And every single one of them has to do with the importance of family and our children as our most important natural resource. Values.
Rick, this week we reported on the Britons and how comfortable they are at making small repairs in their homes. 49% of Britons feel comfortable hanging a shelf on a wall. Now I'm talking about 4 screws and a horizontal board. You know, you want it to be level. So putting a shelf up that might hold some knickknacks, 49% are comfortable doing it. 51% don't think they can pull it off. Then you have only 35% of the Britons are confident in repairing or fixing a leaking faucet. 35%. So 65% don't think they can pull that off. And then 60% are comfortable trying to unclog a clogged drain. This is pitiful. And I believe that Britain is a microcosm of the United States. I believe what happens there first, and then we get it like right away. Like within 6 months to a year, it happens here. And we just showed that 96% of the people students in Detroit are not proficient in math. We're doomed.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Attention, all men. Are you urinating more frequently? Do you wake up to urinate? Are you having a slower, weaker stream? Don't ignore the warning signs of your aging prostate. Get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Super Beta Prostate is guaranteed to support a more complete emptying of your bladder, a fuller, stronger stream, and less waking at night to urinate.
Super Beta Prostate is a product that I really like. I endorse it. I use it myself. I was very pleasantly surprised that Super Beta Prostate helped me fairly quickly.
Super Beta Prostate is formulated with a natural plant enzyme called beta-cytosterol. It's so powerful, you'd have to take 100 saw palmetto pills to get the same sterols as just one Super Beta Prostate tablet. Don't ignore the warning signs of your aging prostate. Call now to get your free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Call 1-800-853-1203. That's 1-800-853-1203. 800-853-1203.
You heard the discussions all over the radio. You couldn't believe what you were hearing. You trusted them. How could you have not seen the signs? You felt betrayed. Outrage set in. Your emotions began to consume you. Then, nothing. Now they're talking football. Days turn to weeks and months. Then, you've forgotten. But they haven't. They're still monitoring your every move. It's coming. Monitor blockitpocket.com. Or will you forget?
Numana, the true pioneer of healthy storable foods and preparedness products, has gone and done it again. Numana is now the first food storage company in the country to offer organic powdered milk free of hormones. Our goal is to change the way you look at storable food. Numana is GMO-free, contains no high fructose corn syrup, aspartame, or artificial ingredients. Numana's great tasting and easy to fix meals are perfect for emergencies or a quick dinner for your family this weekend. We also offer the revolutionary Defender Pack, which combines organic superfoods with the GMO-free meals our customers rave about. Go to powerprepper.com or call 877-817-9829 today to learn more. That's 877-817-9829. Numana, food storage you'll love to eat. See our selection at powerprepper.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it 0 sold out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, docram.com. Rick, very quickly, I just want to let you know that the Cleveland Public Schools were next to last among the large urban school districts, with 11% scoring proficient or better in reading. Just 11%. And in math, they ranked next to last in math, with only 9% of the 8th graders scoring proficient or better. Now, Cleveland is near Akron, Ohio. And Akron, Ohio used to be the rubber capital of the world. Large-scale producers of rubber products like tires were in Akron. That'd be like B.F. Goodrich, Goodyear, and Firestone. So here we have the tire capital of the world, and right next to the tire capital of the world, we have the students in 8th grade hardly able to read and compute. It's an outrage. And this is what our Department of Education has brought to us.
Well, that's your tax dollars at work, and why now many people do not even want to support a tax for the jails or the school system. What's the difference anymore?
Mm-hmm. Mark in Philadelphia, you're on with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Welcome.
Good afternoon, or to you gentlemen. Vince and Richard, I really look up to you guys. I look to my fellow Golden Spirit warriors out there, not only you guys, but your other guests, Vince, as well as your many of your other listeners. And I know that these formidable challenges are coming at us from all angles. But if we back away, it seems like, can we agree that there's an assault on human beings, on Homo sapiens on this planet? I say that they have tried over many generations to numb us to these things, to dull us down, to destroy our wits, and keep us in an intellectual frenzy of fear and division and confusion. But because the big picture of this is this nuclear stuff, okay? What intelligent being anywhere in the universe would create nuclear reactors that they know would fail, and that the byproduct is detrimental to life for tens of thousands of years? See, that just doesn't make any sense to me, that somebody or something behind all of this brought this to us to destroy us, but yet an intelligent being wouldn't create something that they themselves did not have a remedy to. I say there is a remedy to radiation. I say that we have it within us. We have to dig deep, like you say, Doc Ram. We have to help the kids put their feet back deep in the soil to learn about and regain our natural wisdom to make it through these formidable challenges. We have to tap into our deeper knowing, our deeper senses, our deeper sensibilities. We're on a precipice of a breakthrough. That's what I see. These challenges are formidable. They look like, and there's even groups, it seems to me like there's even groups of propagandists creating artificial stories that are BS and for distraction, confusion, and to keep us divided even in our own selves, and try to keep us in fear. But I believe that there's something beyond this, and I want to ask Doc Ram, like the mountain ram that goes to the peak of the mountain to help us see what's clearly going on. I want to ask you about Keshe, the Keshe Foundation, and what Keshe is doing. He just released some information about these energy systems. That is that valid?
Yeah, I can mention on Keshe right now. I have a lot of people, seeing him as the hope of out of this. However, Kerry Cassidy had me on radio with Keshe one time, I think back in November of last year or someplace. And my academic backgrounds are in plasma physics. That's what my father was a plasma physicist, engineer, actually worked in plasma physics at Boeing, and that's what I did my doctorate in, was in plasmas in solids. And I have to tell you something. I asked Keshe basic, simple physics questions. He was unable to answer. He is not a physicist, and he certainly does not know plasma physics. Page 2. I have friends from English Interpol on down that have physically gone to Syria to vet his systems and now are no longer interested in him because none of what he is saying and claiming is vettable. What does that mean? It is, unfortunately, I'm still open. I will open and always be open, but I can tell you that I am extremely disappointed in Keshe and the Keshe movement around his so-called free energy. I think we're going to find there's something else going on there. I don't know. He came up with a bunch of money in his financial things in Japan. Where did that come from?
Also, Richard, when I've spoken to Mike Harris, who's pretty informed.
Yeah, Mike Harris. Yes, Mike is the one that went over. Some others that physically went over trying to vet it. Ask Mike what he thinks now.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping to catch up with him. I want to ask you or mention that
he's,
Mike
by the way,
Harris,
moving back to Oregon. He'll be here shortly.
Oh, good. Mike Harris mentioned that at least 18 to 20 different ideas for this zero-point energy systems. 18 to 20 have been suppressed. They're purposefully being suppressed, like black ops kind of things, and they're being kept from the masses. And is that your understanding as well, that these breakthrough energy systems are being
look, that is what our future was supposed to hold, was free energy. That didn't cost anything. Now, before we even get there, you need to turn the switch off. Nuclear power is already out of control. You've got it right there in your own backyard, Vincent. You need to start a movement to turn those switches off now. If there's any kind of seismic event, and you can count on it, on what just happened in Yellowstone yesterday. Now, with that said, here we are at the end of days, and you've got a bunch of power plants that if we do not turn them off and clean them up, at the end of times, there will be no seventh epoch.
On that note, Vincent, I want to ask you about what we read recently, that the EPA has been withholding what happened actually at the Manhattan Project. After the Manhattan Project, they took the byproduct and they put it in St. Louis in some kind of an underground deal, and now that the dump, I guess, that they had there has been smoldering for 5 years, and the EPA hasn't done a thing about it. Who in their right mind would take byproducts from a Manhattan, from the nuclear?
Well, that's what they did in Hanford. That's what they've done in southern, eastern Oregon, where there's supposedly nothing out there. So it's desert, and that's crazy. It's crazy. And all of it is being managed by our mafias, Yakuza on down.
Yeah.
How? Why?
Waste management is doing it. They're the ones that did the fracking. They're the ones overseeing the toxic.
It's all about the almighty dollar and how that is not going to last very much longer. And so everybody's making a quick grab before the end. And we're in the middle, Malcolm.
So my challenge, Doc Rem, is that I say that there is a way to counter this radiation stuff. There has to be with
we know there are actual plants that will bioremediate from pharmaceutical mushrooms to marijuana. They will all work. I've noticed that right now the state of Oregon, while it's legal, will not issue permits for growing hemp. Why?
Got to be kidding.
I'm not. I have to get a federal permit in order to get a field started here in Oregon. even though medical marijuana is legal and now it's recreational, you can't grow hemp.
So what's your take on these things with this radiation, Vince? What's your take on all this?
Well, of course,
I think that if we don't do something, there will be nothing for the next Clovis culture crawling out of a cave. Because that's what we're going to be doing shortly. And there will be nothing to crawl out to because it will not be habitable for life. In fact, that's what NASA says. So
Mark, I addressed this at the meetup on last Monday. What's happening in the St. Louis area is the politicians and the bureau rats are pointing fingers at each other, and they are in gridlock. They can't decide what to do. So Rome's burning while they can't decide what to do.
Well, that's the fiddle that they talk about.
And that's not who we are. I mean, if USA Prepares was there, one of us, I mean, all of us would try to take the lead, but we would yield to whoever had the most logical solution, and we'd all get behind that person. I mean, that's what would happen with us.
It only takes 3% to make the change, and I'm guessing we have all of that right now listening to this very moment.
Well, what I say to this, Vince and Doc Ram, is I didn't come here this go round in this life to extinct it, along with my fellow man. So I'll leave it at that, and I appreciate you guys and your input and your challenging us to go deeper within ourselves to figure out what's going on and solve this problem.
Mark,
if we can.
Mark, here's what it's going to take.
I appreciate all of this. Thank you.
Mark, you still with us? Yeah.
I'm here.
Here's what it's going to take. Here's what it's going to take. And all of us can do this. And I know this works. It's going to take sending letters to these people who are involved with no return address, one page, just a piece of white paper, and substitute whatever your concern is for their middle name. Okay? So, for example, if it's a local politician, you use his first name, and whatever the issue you're concerned about, that becomes his middle name. If it's a dump site, it would be Joe Dump Dokes, for Joe Dokes. And on the back, you write, "You're fired," and you just send that anonymously with nothing inside this 8.5 by 11 folded pieces of paper with a staple through it. You just send that to him, and you let him know he's fired, and you let him know the reason, which is his middle name. And when they get hundreds of these, they get scared. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
You heard the discussions all over the radio. You couldn't believe what you were hearing. You trusted them. How could you have not seen the signs? You felt betrayed. Outrage set in. Your emotions began to consume you. Then, nothing. Now they're talking football. Days turn to weeks and months. Then, you've forgotten. But they haven't. They're still monitoring your every move. It's coming. Monitor blockitpocket.com. Or will you forget?
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Do you lay awake at night and worry about the health and safety of you and your loved ones? Do you wonder what would happen if you weren't able to get to a hospital or doctor? How can you keep your family safe against the deadly pathogens that are beginning to emerge in the world today? Give yourself peace of mind with Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver is turning heads around the world as a new weapon in the fight against bacteria, viruses, and fungus. Supernatural Silver can be taken internally or used topically to help the body's own immune system fight off disease much more effectively. Supernatural Silver has been tested at independent universities and laboratories around the world and has been proven to be safe and highly effective against some of the planet's deadliest pathogens. There is no better product to have in your home for daily use or emergency preparedness. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, use the code SILVER2015 for 20% off, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
Hi, I'm Rick Ossick with Famous Footwear. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies? That's why we support the March of Dimes in the fight against premature birth. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment programs, and outreach to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Learn how you can help save babies' lives at marchofdimes.org.
Class, Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, richardallenmiller.com, richardalanmiller.com, also docram.com. Mark is with us, and Mark, what you're bringing up is so important. I guess we're going to spend the rest of this broadcast discussing this. So here's what happened. In Virginia, when I lived there as a farmer, Allied Waste came in, and they worked with the county government to put in a dump. And they were going to put this dump on top of an aquifer in a black section. And when I say black section, I mean there was a predominance of black people who lived in this area. And you know, whether we want to say it or not, there's a community of where there's a high concentration of blacks in this area of rural Virginia. And so Allied Waste worked with the county elected politicians or selected politicians, and they were going to put this dump in. And we, the villagers, found out about it, and we were outraged. Now, this was a dump that was going to be a 5-state dump, and it was going to be on 1,400 acres, and the land had already been purchased and transferred to Allied Waste. They already purchased it, transferred it to Allied Waste, and the page was ripped out of the deed book at the county courthouse, so we couldn't find out who the middleman was. And we really believed it was these county thugs who were the politicians in the county. This is a
Allied Waste is your mafia.
Right. They're second largest waste company in the country. 2.18 square miles of dump. Okay? Now, here's what we did. We learned about it, and a bunch of people met at my house. I was not a broadcaster. I was just a farmer. Yeah, I was just some guy who was trying to do some farming with some cows. And so what we did was we had some meetings, and then we decided that, well, we'd all go our independent ways and try to solve this problem. So we had county meetings. We had petitions. We had letters to the editor of the single newspaper 1 day a week in the county. There's only one newspaper. We bought ads. We contributed to buy ads in the newspaper about what's happening, to alert everybody about this dump. I even went on the radio as just some guy who was ringing the alarm about this dump. I was not a broadcaster. I was just some guy who was terrified to be on the radio. Okay. And here's what happened. We were unsuccessful. Nothing we did worked. Nothing. The county government sent Allied Waste to be on the radio after me and to try to make me look foolish. It was difficult to do, but they tried their best to make me look like a fool, and it didn't work. So here's what we did. And it's really simple. All we did was get 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, like copier paper or printer paper. And we wrote the county officials, if you want to call them that, these politicians' names we folded it into the size of a number 10 envelope, 2 folds made into a size of a number 10 envelope, and we wrote their first name, the middle name was Dump, and their last name. So one guy's name was R.B. Clark, Russell B. Clark. So it was R.B. Dump Clark. And we sent them to his home. We sent them to his work location. And we sent hundreds of them. And they all got them from all over the county. And they were in crayon, they were in red pen, blue pen, green pen, every color you could think of. They were written by what looked like maybe a 6-year-old. They were in script. None of them was typewritten. None. And on the back, in great big letters, it said, "You're fired." That worked. And we went to standing room only.
Endorse your fired guy from the Republican Party, please.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It's a threat. Yeah, it's a type of threat that will get you a little red dot on your mailbox.
Well, here's what happened. Rick, the newspaper started writing articles, fictitious articles about this guy by the name of F-I-R-E-M, Firem, which is Southern for fire him. And that was me. They called me Firem because that's what I said. We're going to fire these guys. And you know what? We did. And we stopped the dump. And we were one of 2 counties in the United States of America who actually stopped a dump from coming into our county. Only 2 did it. And we were one of the 2. But it was a difficult fight. But now I know the rules of the game. It's easy. You just do what I said. You use those 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, and for maybe 1,000 first-class stamps, you're probably going to win. Michael, I'm sorry we didn't get to you. Mark in Philadelphia, thanks so much for calling in. Rick, thanks for being with us. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 pain hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.